Oh, yeah. I feel like 20 pounds lighter. All right.
That's
Welcome
funny.
to the Milkman and Reverend show. I am Milkman, and
I'm Reverend.
that's right. And we talk all kinds of nerd shit, comic books and movies and video games and TV shows, toys sometimes.
Most of the time. What
Um,
just happened?
you just
There we go.
being confusing all the things.
Yep. Nothing new there.
Anyway, I watched the awful new Crow film, and it was so bad that I thought we would do our top 10 favorite comic book movies that weren't related in the Marvel DC universe canon publishing realm. All the other, all the other properties in comics, but not Marvel and DC. And Rev was, I think, afraid. He's like, "Are there that many movies?"
And then once I thought about it, yes, there were.
There is quite a few. There's a lot actually, but it's kind of funny. But yeah, so I thought this would be fun. I'm sure we've touched on a couple here and there in our. We've done this type of list before, and I'm sure I've mentioned one or two, but this is just a full on of those films, and I thought that'd be fun. So we'd do something. We haven't done a list in a very long time,
No, we haven't.
and I know we're supposed to be reading X-Men 2099, but
Yeah.
I haven't started that yet. So
Neither have I. I have other things I just purchased that I'm going to be reading before that.
see, there you go. And I'm just looking at all my books, and there's a bunch of them I want to read. So I actually read a book. I will say before we get too far into this, and maybe you know more about this book than I do because I haven't read about it, but I did read the first issue today because it came in my shipment that I got today. Wolverine Revenge. It's the Hickman Capolo book.
Yeah.
And it's got has this normal edition at like 32 pages, but then it has the explicit
The red band
the
version.
red band version. It has 40 pages, so it has extra art that's extra violent.
Which version did you get?
The explicit version.
No, of course you did.
Well, I wanted to see the extra art and stuff, and how what makes it so bad. Anyway, but my question is, I guess I didn't really real. Is this is like an alternate universe book?
No,
It's in canon
it's in Canada. Yeah.
because a bunch of
takes
people
place-
died.
Yeah. It takes place after the Wolverine Sabretooth War that just happened.
Oh, okay, all right, interesting. Did you read it?
I'm reading it.
Oh, okay. You haven't
It's not
finished it?
over.
No, I
not
know,
over.
but I just got the first issue, so I mean, have you read the first issue?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I read the first issue.
I thought it was just kind of crazy and weird and wild. I was just like, okay, all right. I guess I haven't really been reading anything Marvel related in a minute.
Yeah,
So-
I guess so. Yeah. During the into the Krakoa era, Wolverine was in a 12-issue run of his series called the Sabretooth War. And you know how Sabretooth always, fucks with him on his birthday?
Sure.
Well, this time, Sabretooth really fucked with him. He killed his son, Dakin. He
Oh,
killed
I did hear about
Quentin. He killed Quentin Quire and a whole bunch of other mutants, and then sent Wolverine on this whirlwind adventure to find himself and be able to kill Sabretooth. Maybe finally for good. Who knows?
but obviously not with this book. Maybe.
Well,
Well, I guess my question about it all was like I didn't realize that Magneto and Asteroid M was still a thing.
no, it's not. This is it's in the past and in the future. It's bouncing around through timelines.
Okay, but Wolverine Revenge, that whole book kind of takes place in one moment, right?
Yeah, but it's also telling you what's happened in the past.
Well, when did Asteroid? But that doesn't make any sense. I guess I don't. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It never does make sense, does it? It's X-Men.
I know, but when did Asteroid M actually crash on the planet?
Asteroid M crashed a long time ago, like in the 90s.
Okay, so
And
this is
Asteroid M became the Utopia for the X-Men, in the early 2000s.
so
when they were in San Francisco.
this takes place, and we're then Okay, I'm just gonna spoil shit then. But that is okay. So because then Deadpool blows up Captain America and Bucky, or Winter Soldier. So they died.
I don't know what's going on with that one.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand what this means. Like were they scrolls? Like what the if we're going back in time? Like I guess I'm confused.
It's a confusing storyline, but I don't know what's going on.
Okay. I mean, I get if it was a part of the.
It's supposed to be 616, but with things happening the way it's happening, it's now not.
Hmm.
You know, with Bucky and Cap dying and all that stuff. It's really weird.
Like I got the feeling about the asteroid falling, and then, I didn't quite get why Deadpool was with them.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole Colossus being with that side kind of made sense because that was where he was at the end of the 90s.
Yeah.
But the Deadpool thing didn't make sense to me. And then blowing up Cap and Winter Soldier was just like, well, see, that also doesn't make any sense because he wouldn't have been Winter Soldier back then.
No.
This is totally weird.
It's weird. It's supposed to be after Krakoa, but it's with the timeline the way it's working. It's not. It's like it's before, but also another timeline.
Huh. Okay. Yeah.
All right. It's weird. It is weird. Well,
I'm enjoying it. It's cool. I'm so confused as to where this exists.
You're not the only one.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll just shut up and keep reading then.
Yes. It might eventually make sense. I don't know yet.
I did notice in the previews for issue 4, because I was going through previews, that the cover, that takes place in the future and Wolverine's old.
Maybe it's a time jumping thing.
It's just fucking wild. I don't know. All right. Well, that's all the comic book related stuff we're probably going to talk about because we're going to talk about movies. Comic book movies. So, was this a hard list to put together, Rev?
Not after I thought about it.
Yeah?
I did it last night while you were watching that trash of a movie.
I watched a few trash movies last night. Actually, I watched one good movie and 2 trash movies.
What's the good movie you watched?
I watched right after I watched the shit Crow. I watched the actual Crow.
Okay.
And that movie is so good, dude. That movie's like timeless. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Well, yeah. Anyway. And what was the other shit movie you watched?
You're gonna laugh. I actually thought it was really good, even though it's a shit movie.
What's that?
Guilty pleasure. I actually didn't feel too guilty watching it. The Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd.
That's a fun movie.
It is. It's a pretty good movie. I was like, well, I've always kind of avoided it because it bombed, but like when you actually watch it, it doesn't go as hard as most Judge Dredd stuff should go, but it is, I think, pretty faithful to kind of Judge Dredd in a sense. I've not read a lot of Judge Dredd, but there's something big and boisterous and loud about the movie that's kind of seems very Judge Dredd like. I don't know.
And very comic booky.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand why Rob Schneider was in that movie. I mean, you could have taken him out and you would not. He's barely in it to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
His comedy doesn't really hit. I mean, Stallone has more funny things with Diane Lane than Rob Schneider. It was just a weird, like, oh, let's put this funny guy in the movie, some producer said. But it's like, you could have taken him out and you would never have known he was, like, that character does not need to be in that movie. Anyway. Okie dokie. Because even at the very end, they don't really wrap up his character, like, oh, thank you for helping me through this. It's like, he just, like, gets wheeled off on into an ambulance or something, and, like, that's it. That's his, so it's just, like, funny to me. But anyway. That's the other kind of not good movie. I mean, the ratings on that movie are really bad.
They are.
But
it's an enjoyable movie.
It's fine. All right. Well, let's start at number 10. You want to kick it off?
Yeah. My number 10, Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the Ooze. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Secret of the Ooze. Wow, what a bold choice.
That's all you have to say, huh? A bold choice.
This is my least favorite Ninja Turtles film.
I
But
thought number three
I
would be your least favorite.
no, I like 3 way more because Casey Jones comes back.
Okay.
And Corey to voice Donatello.
Yeah, that is true.
And the original April O'Neil. There's so many choices here.
Yeah.
There's so many. I like the third one quite a bit. But I've seen them all so many times, so.
I know you have. So have I.
So tell me about it.
I like that they introduced Toka and Razor and the
that's
Super Shredder at the end.
I know you like those characters.
The fuck! I just had a missile shoot me in the face. Wow. All right. Okay. I don't know. The movie, I thought it was more comedic and funny than the first one, but also, less stupid than the third one.
I don't know. I like the third one so much.
I know you do. That's my feeling about it. I like the story. I like the different mutants. I like the very end with the Super Shredder.
Ninja Rap, Vanilla Ice.
Ninja Rap with Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, baby. Cool. All right, number 10, TMNT 2, Secret of the Ooze. My number 10. This is why I kind of why I watched Judge Dredd last night, because I wasn't sure where I wanted to put it, if I wanted to put it on my list. Because my number 10 is Spawn, the Spawn film.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen Spawn. I had it on VHS forever. I think I have it on DVD now. Anyway, I've seen that movie a lot of times, and I know it's bad. It has some but it has some cool stuff about it too that I really like.
Well, at the time, it was a really good movie, and actually, that's my number 8.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I think it's a really strong. I mean, looking at it now, the CG is pretty bad, and
compared to today, yes.
Some of the acting is pretty awful. Pretty awful. I mean, it is pretty bad, but I don't know. There's some visual ideas going on in that movie that I thought are pretty good, and the soundtrack is a fucking banger.
It is.
So I really like the soundtrack. I would actually say that I think Judge Dredd holds up better as a film and its CG stuff than Spawn does, but I just have more of an affinity for the Spawn character than I do. Well, that's I shouldn't say that, but for that quality of a film, I feel like Judge Dredd holds up better, but Spawn, I have more of a connection to in this era. Anyway, so that's my number 10.
All right.
Number 9, Rev.
Number 9 is He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Jesus.
That is a rough movie. It was such a dumb movie, but it when I watch it, it just brings back memories of me as a kid.
I saw that like a few times in the theater. I mean, I've seen that movie a lot of times. It's a pretty rough movie, and it's so not faithful to the comic. It's so
at all.
Or the original cartoon or whatever. It's just so kind of its own thing. Like producers just getting in the way of themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Dolph Lundgren. He was pretty much. I mean, he makes a good He-Man, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't like how none of the other characters really resemble. There's no Orko. You have this other weird Hobbit character.
Yeah. Man at Arms was kind of faithful without the helmet and shit.
A little bit, yeah. Skeletor-ish.
Yeah. I think that would be Skeletor Light.
Skeletor Light. That's funny. I forgot to mention this. I will say this. I opted not to put any cartoons on my list.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm all going live action. That was one thing that I opted to do. I know there's some other things that could have been used, like there's other Ninja Turtle cartoons or the CG one or some other films that I gave honorable. No, I didn't do. I just all live action, so no cartoons. That was my one thing I did put down. So
okay.
Anyway, I don't know if you did anything like that, but I forgot to mention
no,
that.
I have cartoons on my list.
Okay. My number 9 is gonna be really out there, but I like this movie. I think it's fun. It's sexy. The Spirit, directed by Frank Miller.
Oh my God, I forgot about that movie.
I think it's fun. I think it's
I
fun.
forgot about that movie.
Scarlett Johansson, Eva Mendes, Sam Jackson. I don't know. It's I have it on Blu-ray. I've watched it many times. I like
I've only seen that movie once.
I like the artsy style of it. The very you know, I didn't put Sin City. Sin City is actually not on my list or the sequel.
Really?
But I did give it an honorable mention. But I did like that style, and that's kind of the style that the Spirit is kind of aping in this movie. And I don't know. I thought it was a fun, dumb movie. So
Yeah. Okay.
there you go. I think I like how the animated Ty and the Spirit. I think the guy who played the Spirit was really good.
Yeah.
I'd be curious. Will Eisner has long been passed away, but I'd be curious what he would have thought of the movie. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a good question.
There you go. That's my number 9. So number 8 for you was Spawn.
Number 8 for me was Spawn.
Do you want to switch it out with something, or are you going to keep it?
Gonna keep it.
All right. What do you have to say about it?
It was the first comic movie that I saw in the theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. When was that?
1998, I believe.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's wild.
Yeah.
I think the thing that hurts that movie too is the fact that it's not rated R. It's like PG-13.
It should have been rated R.
Yeah, I think they're trying to make it for kids, but yeah, that's probably
didn't work very well.
I like the people in it. I just think it was not directed. I was watching. That's another thing. I was watching like a kind of behind the scenes documentary on the film, and it was directed by a former ILM special effects guy. So they were more. I guess originally the film only had 76 or 77 effects shots in it, but by the time the movie was over, it had 420 some odd effects shots in it. Like they had originally really tried to keep it more grounded.
Huh.
But they went and you look at some of that like stuff in Hell with Malbolgia and stuff. That shit is just laughable. It's so bad. It's like, they should not have fucking done that shit. But
no, well, that was pretty bad.
I love what's his name is Violator Clown.
Yeah, John Leguizamo.
I thought that's great. I think he would still be great.
Yeah, he would.
Even though he's older, it doesn't matter. Awesome. That's kind of like perfect.
All the fucking makeup that guy had to wear, yeah.
It's like Spawn's penguin.
Right?
There you go. All right.
Except for he was played by a 6'2" Latino, not a 5'3" fat man.
So my number 8, then. This is gonna blow your mind. From Dark Horse Comics. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Time Cop, baby.
Yeah, of course.
This movie is awesome in so many ways. I've seen that a million times. I also had it on VHS. I don't think I ever picked it up on
no, disc. Pick it up on Blu-ray or disc?
No, wow. I've never gone back. I mean, I loved it at the time. I haven't seen it in a while. I should go back and rewatch it, but I hear it still holds up really well. I think it's one of the most fun and engaging Van Damme movies. And something that's fun too is what's the movie that was kind of it's similar to? There was like a more current movie that was, I'm forgetting what that was. Oh, anyway, there was like a time travel science fiction movie. Anyway, in the JCVD TV show, that's actually pretty good. They talk about Time Cop and how it's better than that movie, even though that movie was super popular. Anyway, not important, but I like Time Cop. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Okay.
Dark Horse Comics.
Yeah.
Good times.
That's a good one.
Number 7, Rev.
Number 7, I'm going partially animated with the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Jesus. That's fun. It's a kid.
Yeah. I enjoyed that movie.
Live action CG. It's got it all going on. It's got Cyclops in it. It's got the mask. It's got all these comic ties too. Did you put the mask on your list?
I did not.
I've never seen the mask.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's nothing like a comic.
I would imagine. I would imagine Jim Carrey just like took that thing and just redid that. But anyway, I was just curious. Yeah. I'd never seen it because I was never a big Jim Carrey fan. The only reason I'm saying this is because in Sonic, I do really like Jim Carrey as the villain, Dr. Robotnik. Like he's like he is great in that movie. So
yes, he is. Yes, he is. I enjoyed that movie a lot. I've watched it several times. And each time I've watched it, it has made me laugh a little bit each time.
I mean, have you watched all of the 2 and the Knuckles stuff?
I haven't watched Knuckles yet, but I have watched the second one.
And then 3 coming out with Keanu as Shadow.
Yeah, I will probably watch two again, 1, 2, and then do the Knuckles show. Idris Elba as is that Shadow?
Yeah. See, he's a little
Idris
controller.
Elba as Knuckles is pretty awesome. That's cool. That's really cool.
Nerd shit.
Nerd shit.
No, I haven't actually, I haven't watched the Knuckles show yet either. I keep meaning to, but, I did like both the Sonic films, and I'm looking forward to part 3, so. Cool. Good pick.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 10. What are we on? 7?
7.
My number 7. The Rocketeer.
That's a good one.
Disney somehow, decided to make a film about this comic strip, pulp comic, from fucking the 60s or 50s. I forget where it's actually from.
Which was based in World War II, so I would say the 50s.
And then, they devised this jetpack to fight Nazis and then fight Nazis and fly around. And the movie's great. It has great cast, and it has a kind of a Indiana Jones feel because of the subject matter. Except it's like if Indiana Jones and Iron Man were put together, kind of.
Isn't that another one with Sam Jackson in it?
No, I don't think it's Sam Jackson in that. Timothy Dalton plays the villain.
No, okay.
Isn't Jennifer Connelly in it?
Why am I thinking that Sam Jackson's in that movie?
I don't know. The Rocketeer? I mean, he's in Iron Man. Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
Joe Johnson directed The Rocketeer. He's also the same guy that directed the first Captain America movie.
Nice.
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly's in it. Timothy Dalton, James Bond. Yeah, I don't think there's any. It's all pretty white people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always liked this movie. When I first got Disney Plus, way back when it first launched, that was one of the first movies I rewatched on there because it's like,
nice.
It's such a great movie, dude.
You needed your nostalgia kick.
Well, yeah, but it's because it's an old movie. It's a period piece, and so it's like it feels pretty timeless, regardless of. So anyway, Rocketeer. I don't have any of the comics, but I have some pinup art from it.
Mm-hmm.
That I have that some artists have done, but it's not a comic I've ever read. I guess I should say that too. Most of the I read Spawn. I've never read The Spirit. I've never read Time Cop, and I've never read The Rocketeer. Did you read Sonic comics?
Yes, I did. In fact, every one of these on my list, I've read the comics.
Oh, see, well, you're a good person. Yeah, we should probably mention that kind of shit because I've never. Yeah, I just know they're comic book movies. It's like, but it was never something that I watched the movie and then went, oh, I'm gonna go check out the comics. It's just, nah, that's a good movie. I don't need any more.
No, that makes sense.
Were any of those that for you though, where you watched it and then went and found the comics, or were you always had read the comics first?
Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, okay.
That's on my list.
Okay. Oh well, I guess we can wait till you get to that one. Anyway, I'm done with The Rocketeer. So what are we at? 6 now?
6. Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass. That did not go on my list.
No, of course it didn't.
It's a good movie though. I like it.
I like it. I like the movie a lot. It stayed pretty true to the books. I read the books before I watched the movies. It was really good. I enjoyed it. The second one kind of deviated. I didn't really care for it that much, but the first one was really good. I enjoyed it. I've watched it several times.
Did they ever make a Hit Girl film?
No.
Were they? For some reason I thought they were going to. I know she had a spin-off comic.
Yeah, they were going to, but she said she didn't want to do it, so they decided not to do it.
Yeah, I like the Kick-Ass movies. I guess it's my, I don't really have anything against them. Nick Cage is great
Yeah.
in them. Or in that first one
Yeah.
anyway. Is he in the second one?
He has a flashback.
No, because he dies, right?
Yeah, he does.
That's right. Spoiler. If you haven't seen the fucking movie that came out like fucking 2,000 years ago. Jesus. Get a life. Yeah, no. That's part of my, I guess it's part of my whole Mark Miller. I hate that guy, even though he's done some great stuff.
He's written some great books, but he hates every movie that is ever made of any of his fucking characters.
You know what? I totally forgot, but like Wanted.
300.
That's Frank Miller, not Mark Miller.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, they're Millers, and they both hate their work being made into movies, so.
But Frank Miller doesn't mind taking someone else's work and making it a movie.
That's exactly it, yeah.
Well, didn't Frank Miller co-direct the second Sin City, though? I think he did. Anyway, I think he did.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well, okay, we're at 6. My number 6. This is gonna get a lot of hate. If we ever got hate mail, this would get a lot of hate. Because like, I really like this movie, and I get it's whitewashing, but I really like Scarlett Johansson in the live-action Ghost in the Shell. Now I get the cartoon is a classic, and I like that movie too. I decided not to put cartoons on this list. But I think I actually like the live action better than the cartoon, which is blasphemy.
It is blasphemy.
Yeah.
Why?
Just I don't know why. I like the live action movie. I have it. I've seen it. I have it on Blu-ray. I have a digital version. I've seen it many times. I've watched it. I enjoy it.
Never seen it. I have never seen the live action.
It got a lot of hate because Scarlett Johansson playing but like the Japanese creator was like, "That's fine. We're just fine with us. It doesn't matter." It's not like they're like actually trying to make her Japanese.
True.
I don't know. She's an android.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I like the movie. I think the movie's cool. I think it does a lot of cool things to visualize what that world was like. And, that's another comic book I've never fucking read. The manga, Japanese comics, whatever. It's a comic book. I've never read the original comic of that. Though I've seen the original anime a million times, and I've seen the live action one many times now. So, whatever. Shoot me.
Nah.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. I think it's. I like it. I think it's good.
I'm not judging you this time.
Hey, look. ScarJo is attractive, lady, and
yes, she is.
That helps.
And she's a good actor too.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for not being too hard on me.
I'll let everybody else tear you apart. I won't.
Yeah, probably. All right, number 5. Number 5.
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
I enjoyed the movie. I hate Michael Cera. I fucking hate that guy.
Oh, really?
I just cannot stand him. Cannot stand him for anything. He just bugs the shit out of me. But that movie was so good. It actually made me go out to the comic shops and buy all 6 books. And they were just as enjoyable as the movie.
How close are they How close are they?
They are pretty fucking spot on.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty damn good.
I did not like that movie.
Really?
I've never read that book. It's just not something I've ever. It's I don't know. Just not something I was into. But I know people love it. I know it's a faithful adaptation. I know.
Yeah. I've watched it several times. Every time I see that it's streaming somewhere, I'll sit down and watch it because it's just that enjoyable.
It's a big crossover. Brought a lot of people to comics, I think, too, because you watch that movie and it has a lot of more than just a lot of video game references and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Scott Pilgrim. And I don't hate Michael Cera. He's fine sometimes.
Sometimes. I just, something about him bugs the shit out of me.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but not so much that it takes away from that.
Right.
Who else is in it? Like Chris Evans and Brandon Routh.
Brendan Roth,
There's a lot of
the
people in
girl
it.
from Pitch Perfect. What's her name?
Oh,
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick, who hasn't played a
Um,
comic book hero yet. Chris Evans obviously played multiple.
yeah.
Brandon was well, he played
Superman.
Superman and then in
The Atom.
Legends. Yeah. Fun. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. My number 5. Hellboy 2 and the Golden Army.
That's a fun movie.
I love the Del Toro, Perlman, Hellboy franchise. It's magic. I think it kind of. I've read some Hellboy comics. I've never really got into them,
Mm-hmm.
so I kind of like more glommed onto the movie, just how that worked more so than the comics. I don't know, man. I thought that was magic. I thought it was a shame that it never got its final, or at least a trilogy. So always gonna be heartbroken. But the crazy thing is that they keep making movies. I mean, they made one with the guy from Stranger Things, and then the newer one is just came out or is about to come out. The Crooked Man one.
Isn't that also with the guy from Stranger Things?
No, it's with a different dude, totally different team.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like they just keep trying to. This one, supposedly, this latest one is worked super close with Mike Mignola to. But I hear it's okay. So like I don't know, yeah, it's not like bad like The Crow or something, but it's fine. I'm sure I still haven't watched that other one with what is that guy's name?
David something.
Harbour.
Isn't it?
Yeah, David Harbour. I forgot who directed it, but yeah, I still haven't watched that. I think it's on Netflix.
I haven't watched it either.
He looks like an awful Hellboy, man. It looks like this just crack addict Hellboy. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, I should have watched it. I should have watched it.
I think Ron Perlman was perfect as Hellboy.
Oh yeah,
I loved him as Hellboy
for sure. Anyway, that's my number 5.
All right. My number 4
Mhm.
is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, the OG,
the original. The OG. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was in the 90s. I was a big turtle kid. I loved all the action figures.
Still a big turtle kid.
I am still a big turtle kid, yes. And I fell in love with the movie. I've seen it so many times. I just enjoyed everything about it.
This is the first time too, because like I wasn't really, we were growing up on the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
That it was the first time we were confronted with the comic book origin, because I didn't really know what the comic book origin was. So like the whole like the flip of like this, how the Splinter story plays out is different than the cartoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that cartoon was, that film was amazing.
Yes, it was. It was so good.
I remember we were watching a double feature it's now the Baghdad, but it used to be some other kind of cheap theater back in the day. It might have still been called the Baghdad, but it wasn't owned by McMinimans. And
I think it was the Baghdad, but it wasn't owned. Yeah, I think you're right.
We used to go watch double features there. So we'd like see The Bear and Three Men and a Baby, or The Burbs and I don't know, something else. And Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. That kind of that time period. But I remember one of the trailers came on, and it was really dark at the beginning. Like it was like evil sounding, and so I thought it was like going to be a horror film. So I was like shrinking in my chair because I was a kid, and I was just I didn't like horror films.
You still don't.
I still don't. But it was Shredder entering, and then it's like just like a total flip. It's like, holy shit, there's a Ninja Turtles movie coming. I just remember being so fucking hyped.
Right. It was actually a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
As the other thing that's awesome about the original Ninja Turtles film is that Sam Rockwell, it's like one of his first acting appearances as a thug.
Oh yeah, yes. And your living boner for Sam Rockwell.
Of course, he's one of the greatest actors of all time. But like, I always think about regular or menthol. Anyway, I just
Jesus Christ.
anyway, that's so great. It's great. It's fucking great. Anyway,
Okay.
Ninja
All right,
Turtles.
all right.
I will say this too. It's my number 2 on my list. That's
All
how
right.
that's how much I love that movie. I mean, I love that movie so much. I like you. I've seen it so many fucking times. I just recently rewatched it. Like,
I have not. I need to.
I was on a Ninja Turtle tear.
You know, I haven't watched the new one yet. The new movie yet.
You
Either.
got to watch the new cartoon, dude. It's pretty good. Yeah. I think the
Mutant
ending is
Mayhem
kind of,
or whatever it is.
huh?
Mutant Mayhem or whatever it is.
Yeah. It's pretty great. I wasn't a super big fan of the ending. But
Mhm.
it's fine for a cartoon. I just was like, this is a bit much, but it all starts really great. And they nail all the kind of characterizations of the turtles and stuff.
All right.
It's
I'll have
funny.
to give it a shot.
It's really funny. Yeah,
It's on Paramount Plus right now,
it's kind of like a low key Spider Verse. I mean, not like that storytelling, but like kind of the visual, as
The
like kind of
animation.
CG animation, edgy. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty cool. Anyway,
That's on Paramount right now, right?
it should be, yeah.
Okay. I'll have to watch it. Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
Okay. My number 4. Well, Hellboy 2 is my number 5, so number 4 is going to be the first Hellboy movie. Kicked
Okay.
it off, dude. I fucking love that
Another good
movie. I love
Another
that
good
movie.
movie.
So fucking good movie, dude.
It was so good. It was so fun, so enjoyable.
There's some imagery in that movie too that's like when the professor, his dad basically dies, and he's
Mhm.
like, they're at the funeral, and then Hellboy's like standing on top of the BPRD building in the rain. That for some reason that shot is ingrained in my head. It's like one of the coolest kind of sadness, dark. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah,
I love that movie.
that's a great movie.
I
It
had
is a
a-
great movie.
I have this cool collector's edition. It's not the Blu-ray version. I got it back. It's like DVD version. It's like multiple discs, but it has this great like commentary that you don't usually kind of get nowadays, where
Mhm.
you watch the film, but there's a little window that shows them watching the movie. So it's not like they're recording it separately and then someone's mixing it all together and cutting stuff out. It's just them watching the movie, eating M&Ms. It's pretty funny to watch.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but yeah, that first one, I love that movie. Great movie.
It's a good movie. I agree with that one.
Yeah, I wish we could have got the third Guillermo del Toro. I think Guillermo doesn't want to do it, and I think Perlman's too old at this point.
Yeah.
And they've obviously made 2 other Hellboy movies now, so that's never
Yeah.
going to happen. It's kind of a
No.
shame, though.
No,
All right.
it's not. All right. Number 3. Taking it back to 1986. The original G.I. Joe.
Oh, damn.
I don't know. Just that movie.
Sergeant
It
Slaughter.
comes on the tails of Optimus dying, and they realize that they did a very bad thing when that happened. So when Duke gets stabbed in the heart with Serpentor's snake, at the very end, oh, and Duke's alive! He's gonna survive!
Cobra la 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 la.
Exactly, yeah. So you knew that Hasbro knew they fucked up when they killed Optimus.
But
So
did they?
were gonna
But
make up
did
for
they
it.
really? I
Well,
mean, they kind of did, but did they really? No, they
Well,
didn't.
yes, they didn't. No,
Not if you're
but they
playing
did.
the long game. If you're playing the short game with kids and toys, sure, you might have fucked up.
Yeah.
But if you're playing the long game, you did not fuck up. You made the right
No.
choice in killing Optimus Prime.
By bringing in Rodimus Prime.
Fuck yeah, we all need a RV.
But I just loved the G.I. Joe movie. It had, I was 6
Fucking
years old.
Sergeant Slaughter, dude.
Fucking Sergeant Slaughter, yes. But I just, seeing that an origin story for Cobra Commander and him being a snake person instead of somebody who just really likes snakes and all that shit. I thought it had undertones of scariness to me when I was that young because of the snake monsters and all that shit.
Right.
But I enjoyed it. I thought Nemesis Enforcer was amazing. The Globulus was really a cool design. I enjoyed that movie a lot.
And they've adhered to a lot of that stuff throughout
Yeah.
the rest of the comics. And
Well, the new stuff right now in the comics is tying over with Transformers, and so Cobra Law is using based weapons and stuff,
see,
and I love that too.
finally tying their worlds together.
Yes, it's about fucking time.
Yeah, I've seen that movie not as many times as the original Transformers movie, but I've seen G.I. Joe quite a bit, and I still buy G.I. Joe comics. So
I do too. I still buy GI Joe action figures.
I haven't bought a G.I. Joe action figure in forever, but yeah, cool. All right. So that's number 3. We're doing number 3. Yeah.
We're at 3.
So one of the reasons I like, so my number 3 is Dredd.
The Carl Urban.
The Carl Urban film. I think
Nice.
that film
That
is
is a good movie.
that film is a fucking masterpiece. I think.
That is a good fucking movie. I'm with you on that one.
I've seen it. I own it. I still hasn't really pushed me. I think I have a couple Dredd comics. It's not quite the same. I like I like him in the film in cinema, as people would say. So when I said like I didn't have much connection to Dredd, the Judge Dredd, the Dredd film with Carl Urban, I think it's so badass.
It is a good movie. I enjoy it.
It's basically, go into a building and kill everybody. It's like a version of Die Hard or Raid Redemption or whatever, but it's with a comic book character in his world, and it explains like the mega cities and the mega towers, and it's this kind of dystopian world, and it's, I know, I dig it. I thought it was awesome. It's acted. It's the way it's shot is great. Which sucks is like it was a great fucking movie, and we're not gonna get a sequel to that fucking movie.
Nope, no, we are not, because the fans hated it.
So disappointing. Anyway, great film. Yeah. All right. What's your number 2?
Can you guess my number 2?
I'm gonna guess it's probably like Transformers.
There you go.
I was kind of debating. I was debating whether I was gonna be number 1 or not. I'm assuming
my
the
number
cartoon.
1 is gonna shock you. Yes.
I'm assuming the
One,
cartoon.
1985.
Michael Bay's live-action Transformers film. Your no?
Those were fun movies, but no.
I would have put Bumblebee. If any of the live-action ones, I definitely would have put Bumblebee on that list.
Bumblebee was good. Bumblebee was really good. I enjoyed Bumblebee, but I just can never ever not put Transformers on my list.
Live action.
No, not live action.
All right. Well, Transformers, the movie.
Yep. I don't know how many times I see that movie, and I know what's coming, and every fucking time that Optimus bites it, I end up crying.
Oh.
Yep. Every time. I don't know why, but that fucking robot dying at the hands of Megatron makes me cry.
I actually the part that actually I don't think I've cried at that movie in a very long time, but there will be moments where I do get a little like dusty, and it's at the end when Hot Rod is in there and he starts opening the Matrix, and you hear Optimus, and then Hot Rod goes Optimus, and then it's like and it's like oh yeah, badass, and then you find out he's an RV, and you're like oh, what happened? You fucked him.
The giant Winnebago.
It's like you just like cut off his nards. It's like he was a Hot Rod fucking car, and then we couldn't come up with a better design. I mean, come on.
Make him a Winnebago.
That would be my argument, that it was that in the long run that was the worst thing that happened. If you had made Rodimus Prime a cooler design, I don't think you'd have an issue. But they couldn't make him better. Like, is he an RV Winnebago? Is he some kind of weird garbage truck? Does he deliver spicy noodles? Like, what the fuck is this fucking vehicle? Yeah. That's ultimately the biggest mistake of that film. Anyway. But what's also awesome about that, because like my favorite Transformer has a pretty massive screen time. Grimlock pretty much
Yes.
choose the scenery in that entire movie, and
Yes, he does.
so
Yes, he does.
that's yeah, I love that movie too. But I didn't do cartoons, so it's not on my list.
I know.
Cool. My number 2, we already talked about it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the OG.
Hmm.
I forget who it's directed by, but I know the Jim Henson Creature Shop did the animatronics and things for the turtles.
Mask, the everything. Yeah.
Casey Jones, played by, I'm forgetting his name right now, but Canadian's De Niro, basically. I guess, I don't know. I just love that movie. It's great.
It's a good movie. It made my list too. So hey,
And it really still holds up.
it does.
It's
It really does.
yeah. So all right, number ones.
My number one.
Well,
is
should we
gonna shock
try and guess?
you. Yeah. Okay. Guess mine. You're not gonna guess it.
Yeah, I don't think I am gonna guess it. If I've already said a bunch. Oh, I know what it is.
What?
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
No. What out? No.
Oh, okay. Well, I tried.
I think your number one is my number one.
Oh,
Crow.
we both did The Crow as number 1. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that is my number 1. There you go.
Yeah.
You win. Yeah. Fucking awesome movie. Alex Proyas is the director. He would go on to direct Dark City, and then what's the one with Will Smith? With the robots.
Oh my God.
What's that?
iRobot.
iRobot. Yeah. So this guy would go on to bigger and better things, but he starts here, and such visual style and well shot and edited acting.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many quotes I get. When we're out doing The Gambler with the guys, I always yell at them when they go into the store, get smokes and road beers. Or I don't know. There's just I don't know. I love that movie. I just watched it last night, dude.
Yeah.
And it's still fucking timeless. Fucking holds up. And this goes into the larger thing about we did not need to remake this movie.
No.
You have to make the movie better than that one, or you just shelve the whole project.
Yeah.
Like Warner Brothers felt Batgirl was not a good movie or whatever. You got to look at that Crow movie and then put it against the other Crow movie and be like, I think we should write this one off. Put this one away. Yeah. I don't think any. Let me tell you, Rev, it is so bad.
And Skarsgård, I loved him in Blake Hill's World.
I haven't seen that yet, but I hear that's good.
It's really good. It's funny.
But
it's really well done.
Yeah, and then Brandon Lee,
yeah,
just about to break. I mean, this movie would have put him
above everything
because he was so good in it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's rough. I even pulled out the comic last night as I was going through, as I was watching the movie and just going through it, and just how much. Obviously, there's a lot of. I mean, I know they shot Skull Cowboy stuff for the '94 Crow, but they had to cut it out. It didn't work, and with his passing, they had to kind of refix the film. And that's another thing. Whatever they had to do to kind of fix the movie to complete it, pretty fucking monumental. That's especially maintaining how well it is. But anyway, going through the comics is just how literally those scenes in that film come straight out of the comic book is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And also, you said Spawn has a good soundtrack. The Crow soundtrack, the greatest fucking. I mean, in high school, I bought that. I remember listening to that nonstop. Yeah.
It was a good movie. It was. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't see it when it first came out. I saw it when I was 23. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rated R movie. Rated R movie.
I still loved it. I loved it.
Rated R movie. Saw it at the 82nd Act 3 Theater when it was Act 3, not Regal. And we got in.
How the hell did you get in?
We used to get into a lot of rated R movies when we were 16. They didn't really care. It depended on who was working And sometimes
No.
sometimes Mark's parents would be there. I don't think that one was. We definitely had to get parents to get us in to see Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
But The Crow, I think they just let us in. Yeah, but we saw it on opening weekend, and yeah, good times. Love that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I have a poster of it. I have the poster of The Crow somewhere. It's probably hidden in one of my posters. I did ultimately, because I don't think I had read the comic book. I knew it was a comic book movie, but I did after we saw the movie. I went out and got the trade at Powell's,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I remember then getting the VHS of The Crow later, and reading The Crow, and then watching the movie and seeing the parts that were. That's not really the only time I've done that, where I would read the comic multiple times and kind of see, oh, this part's different, this part's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the comic book is a little bit more low key. The movie goes kind of grand, like there's like this big kingpin is in charge of everything.
Mm-hmm.
The comic book is actually just this group of thugs in this car, and it kind of cuts back and forth to what happens between them and what happens to them, the revenge part. So like every time he takes one down, it relives that part that they did to them, and so the final part is pretty aggressive, but in the comic, whereas in the movie, it's on top of, it's like this weird gothic operatic bad guy uses special powers on him and whatever. Yeah. You've seen the movie.
I've seen the movie.
That's different from the comic ending, but it all works in the film.
I don't remember reading much of the comic. I think I read like the first issue and I didn't care for it.
It's a lot of poetry. It's a lot of like quotes from songs. It's a lot of, I mean, James O'Barr, his wife was killed, and so he was going through a lot of dark shit, and The Crow is what came out of that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. Our top 10 lists of our favorite comic book films that do not include Marvel or DC films.
Yes, but one of them did have two characters that are in the Marvel movie.
Well, a lot of them have Marvel characters in them, really.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Sam Rockwell's in TMNT. He plays, what's his name in... Justin Hammer in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, and Kick-Ass, both Kick-Ass and his friend are in Marvel.
And ScarJo's in Ghost in the Shell. She's Black Widow. Come on.
Yeah. They just can't get away from it.
Oh, and then in Spirit, ScarJo again.
Yeah.
And then Sam Jackson is Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times. Yeah, so that was... Oh, I had some honorable mentions.
One I didn't... that's an honorable mention.
My honorable mentions, I'm going to name two graphic novels that I like. But, so Road to Perdition, the movie directed by Sam Mendes and starring Tom Hanks. It's like a 30s gangster film, assassin type film. It's really good, really well made. I don't know. For some reason I decided not to put it on the list. Ghost World, another ScarJo film. That one I have read the comic or the graphic novel. But I have a bad history with that movie because my ex was really into it. And then you're going to hate me for this. So this is my guilty pleasure. Well, not really guilty pleasure, but this is the category where Judge Dredd is in that category. But I like the Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies with Megan Fox.
Those are enjoyable.
They're not directed by Bay, obviously. They're just produced. I don't know who directs them. I don't know who directs them, but I like those movies. I think they're fun. I don't give a shit that the turtles have lips. Who gives a shit? You people get so over.
Care. Those are fun movies. I'm with you on that. Those are very fun movies.
I like the characterizations of the turtles. It's a little over the top at times, but I don't know. I think it's fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking Will Arnett is fucking hilarious. I don't know. I enjoy those
Yeah.
movies.
I'm with you on those. I have a couple of honorable mentions.
Let me finish one last thing, and then my Zack Snyder 2 film. Or no, not Zack Snyder. There's a Zack Snyder film. I did put 300 on my honorable mentions.
Uh-huh.
I didn't put that. I considered putting it in my list, but I like 300 quite a bit. And then the first Sin City. The second Sin City film is not very good, but the first Sin City movie is pretty good. My problem with it is I went to rewatch it recently, and I just was really bored by it.
It's slow. It's a slow burn.
It is a very kind of, yeah. You have to be really want to watch it. If you're just kind of, I'm going to check this out, and you're going to be like, I'm going to tap out now.
Yeah.
All right, what are yours?
Well, one of mine is Sin City. And then I have Green Hornet with Seth Rogen.
I thought about that. I like that movie. That movie gets a lot of hate.
It's a lot of hate. It really does. A lot of fucking hate. But I enjoyed it. So there's that one. And then The Losers.
Oh, The Losers. No, that's DC, though. Isn't that DC?
Not at the time.
Was it not?
No.
Oh.
When the movie was made, it's right as DC was incorporating all those others.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was a DC Vertigo title.
Well, it was Vertigo before
Vertigo's always been with DC Rev.
Well, it's an honorable mention.
Isn't Red a comic book movie?
Red is also a comic book movie, but that's also DC.
Is that DC? Oh, okay.
It is DC.
You know, I didn't really mention these, but I like these two, like the Conan films or the Red Sonja film. They're kind of cheesy fun.
Yeah.
I wish they'd I always wanted, I mean, they were going to. They talked about it for such a long time, making a new Red Sonja movie, and then it just never happened. But we could really, man, I think I would really love a Red Sonja film, but that's never going to happen.
Seems like no, probably not.
Too sexy. We can't put a woman in a chainmail bikini and just run around the entire film. Why not? I say, why not?
Of course. Why not?
Anyway, all right, awesome. That's a fast hour.
That was an hour? Holy shit! Wow.
See, you can kind of vamp about shit. I don't know. You got anything else you've been reading or doing? Just kind of check in.
Well, so I got my comic book version of the Holy Grail.
You say?
I got the whole epic of the Spider-Man clone series.
Oh my god! Have you started?
All 4 of them.
Have you started it yet?
I have not started them yet, but I will.
Have you've read it all before though, right?
Not all of it. No.
Not all of it. Oh.
I read most of the Scarlet Spider stuff, but never when he actually became Spider-Man, because for some reason, I could never find those books.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's gonna be exciting for you.
Yeah, originally all that would have cost me like $600. I paid $330.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that really made my day, and it made me even happier to get it.
That's
because that was the day after the Sentinel fell on my Technodrome.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask about that. Have you fixed that? No, it's just.
I have the pieces here. I don't want to pull it out yet.
It's just like sad.
It's like, yes, I'm sad.
Just gonna have to work up to that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down one day and just rebuild the pieces that broke.
So do you file away all your like instructions to that stuff too?
Yeah, they're in this tub right here.
Oh, okay, cool. So
hopefully I have them, and it's not in book 2, which I don't think I have.
Is that a Legos one, or is that the other brand?
That's Mega Bloks.
Mega Bloks.
Yeah.
And you can order pieces individually if you do lose stuff, though, can't you? Like on their website?
I don't know. No, I don't think you can. But I found the pieces on eBay. A friend of mine found them on eBay.
Because I know, like the Lego stores, they have like the Lego separate bins.
Yeah,
you can definitely buy
Lego, and they'll send you replacement pieces and extra stuff to make up for whatever happened.
Cool. Yeah, so that sucked for you.
What happened is one of my Sentinels, this guy right
one of
here,
his giant ass things.
This fucker fell on my Mega Bloks Technodrome.
Mutants detected.
Pretty much. And caused a whole bunch of damage along this.
It's rough.
Oh, it was so sad. And I saw it falling, and it was like in slow-mo, and I couldn't get to it in time.
What caused it? No
How if I
shit.
know?
Just
I have
decided.
no idea.
Just
He just decided to fall, I guess.
just the. Just I think it was the Pit action figure.
Putting the curse on.
Probably farted
His
and
weather is there, though.
yeah, but Pit, he moves around. He can get around.
He
Anyway,
does. He does get around a lot.
that's funny. What we need is a Savage Dragon movie. When's that gonna happen?
That's never going to happen.
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah, it's never.
They
gonna
didn't like
happen.
Hellboy enough. I mean, obviously they
Yeah.
like Hellboy. 4 movies.
Yeah.
That seems wild. And
I thought there were only-
none of them are successes. Well, the first one was a success enough to make a sequel, I guess, but
Yeah.
well,
I don't know.
I'm trying to think
I wish they would do Savage Dragon. That would be fun.
I wonder who would we have play Savage Dragon?
I don't know. The Rock.
No, don't start. Do not start. I'm so done with The Rock. Oof.
I think everybody's done with The Rock.
Cool. Well, I don't
No.
really have anything. I'm trying to think if I have anything else.
Are you reading anything good or just the same shit?
I haven't really read. I mean, I just read that Wolverine comic because
You wanted to?
I wanted to. Well, I wanted to see why it was explicit. It comes polybagged.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so kids can't get into it. But it didn't seem that gross.
Even the version I read, which it still had a little bit of blood and guts in it, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, I didn't quite get
Yeah.
it. But maybe it'll get worse.
Who knows?
Maybe it's just the amount that's in it. That's why
Yeah,
they
the amount is more-
take the pages out and then it's less and so it doesn't count. I don't know. It just adds up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know.
I was like, there's no boobies or dicks or anything. So I was like, I don't know. It's not that explicit. It wasn't even that much cussing. I don't even think there was any cussing in it. I don't know.
Maybe a bastard or damn.
Oh well. I want to go read all my books actually. That's why I've been like sitting here being like, I should read. I should just go read.
Well, why don't you?
Well, maybe I will. I'll get off with you and I'll read.
Ooh, hot. Get off with me.
Get off. Mm.
Christ. Oh, fuck.
All right, dude. Let's let everyone know that. Well, what should we do if we're not gonna do? Your next reading experience is going to be this Spider-Man stuff.
No, if you want to do the X-Men 2099, we can do that.
We got to do it. I just I haven't done it, and I've been so
Let's
bad.
do the first, how far?
Let's
how
just
many
read.
issues
Let's
do you
just read some books. Let's
Okay.
not like try and do anything weird. Let's just read some books. Come back next month, and just have read a bunch of books. We'll put this.
Sounds like a plan.
We'll put this X-Men 2099 thing a little bit on the back burner for now. We'll
Yeah,
get to
we'll
it.
do it.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
I want to see how much I can actually catch up to some of my shit. So.
Well, let's see. We have a month. Ish.
Ish. My current stuff, not my fucking.
Not your super backlog of shit.
No. Because I got some of the new X-Men and the new Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah.
I got catch up on Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Read my G.I. Joe. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. All right, man. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. If you listened or watching, if you're watching, hope you enjoyed this episode. It was fun to do, fun to put together. You can find us on all the platforms, and reach out. We have an email address, milkmanreverend@gmail.com. You can tell me that I'm wrong about Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, I'm Milkman.
I'm Reverend.
And we'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys. No, be excellent to each other this time?
Oh, be excellent to each other.
Yeah.
Sure.
I thought that was the sign up for everyone.
Is it?
You've said it almost every episode.
Okay.